self-reflection,
soul searching,
personal development.
never give up.
It's about kicking everything you got, all your will, all your strength, all your heart, all your soul, and putting it into the grind.
It's about staying persistent and always keep going, no matter what.
This the fight of your life, baby. This is everything it is. This is everything you got.
Have faith, never fold.
I need you to grind. I need you to grind. I need you to grind.
This is the Grind Podcast.
This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill.
Mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yo, yo, yo. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome to the Grind Podcast, episode 7. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while. It's an important time coming up. First and foremost, I would like to introduce you guys to the hostess with the mostest, the most energetic, the completed, never be defeated, infamous on top, the homie, infamous RJ, AJ, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, what it do? I'm here, folks. I'm here. And I would like to introduce my partner, crime partner. The brother with my brother from another. The artiste.
Artiste. Oh,
My guy,
never heard it.
Tyler Tanksy.
Thank you.
Round of applause. Hey.
Thank you. Yeah, man, it's an important time coming up. And I feel like, shoot, I'm glad we are aware, conscious of the times we're in and things we're going through this year. And I'm just glad that we're able to, just speak on some things. Today's episode, we're going to talk about voting.
Nice.
Who you with, who you pick, you choose. We have the topics we're going to get into, just things you want to be aware of, just outlining the most importance of it all. So I feel it's important because, like I said, it's an important time.
True.
And we need to make sure that first and foremost that if anything, our voices are heard, and that's just the important thing. You want your voice to be heard. It counts. No matter what you think, your voice matters. So that's, yeah. What's the first time you ever voted, Adrian? You remember that? Like the first time you voted? And who'd you vote for when you first voted?
Of course. The first time I voted, I was 18 years old. I was a freshman in college, 2008. I voted for Barack Obama.
Oh.
He got elected that year. He became president. Joe Biden, who is running right now in 2020, was his vice president, his VP. And now it's come full circle to where Joe Biden's running for office, and he could possibly be our president. He's running against the incumbent, Donald J. Trump, who is in office right now for the last 4 years of the United States. So it's been a close race so far. They've been going back and forth. The debate's been kind of funny. Camilla, his vice president for the Democratic Party, I think she is an up-and-coming star, not a star already. She went head to head versus Vice Mike Pence, which is the vice president right now. He did pretty good too. I was impressed. I thought he had showed a lot of poise. So it's a good little back and forth. The country is torn right now. I feel like on one hand you have Donald Trump, who people say is narcissist kind of, white supremacist. A lot of his group, a lot of his base is predominantly of the white race. If that's for lack of a better words. And a lot of people in the higher class, as far as the rich, the 1%, the 2%, the 5%, they're also pretty much his base, and then on the other side you have the minority class, African Americans, Latinos, maybe half Asians, people of lower incomes usually vote for the Democratic Party. But on this election, we've kind of seen that kind of change. They usually vote for the Democratic Party, but the Democratic Party wants a little bit higher taxes, because for different governmental programs. It's just a little different time right now.
I agree.
Donald Trump has done a lot of good things as far as adding stuff, stimulus packages, still in COVID. He hasn't been terrible, but there's still social issues.
I think
police
he's been terrible.
Police brutality.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, of course, of course. Police brutality. There's still a lot of injustices going on in the world. So it's just gonna be a crazy little 2020 election. People are voting right now. It's early voting. So yeah, and that's just to give it a little bit of context. So
to go back. First time I think I ever voted was definitely around that time that Obama was being elected. That was pretty special. For me, that was pretty special. I like the way the Black and brown community really came together and was really, and celebrities and actors, athletes was all on this campaign. Was like, yo, we got to do the right thing here. Like, hey, excuse me, we got to do the right thing. We got to make sure we vote. We got to use our voices. That was probably the first time in my lifetime I've seen people actually being excited to vote. I guess felt like it was, I want to say hope. There was some type of feel good, like things were maybe going to change for the good. Just seeing, well, pretty much an African American in office, and I know, of course, he's not even fully African American for those who want to politicize this whole thing. But nevertheless, to us, if that's the closest to a Black man in office we were going to get, we were excited. Right. That's what I do know at that time. So it was no question anyone was voting. And I remember the results of it all. I was in a choir at the time, and I don't remember if it was before or after rehearsal, and we put it up, and he basically won by a landslide. Like, he blew that away. And we were so happy, and then I think it was
the closest part was within the primaries, which was him and Hillary. Yeah, that was the closest one. But once he won that, then
it was pretty much over. Like, no one was touching that. And then I remember even the inauguration. Like, I remember at school at CSUSB, they was actually passing out shirts of the
Oh, really?
inauguration.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if I still have it. I probably can find a picture on Facebook,
I still
actually.
got the newspaper article from when he won, like that same day, that article.
Hmm.
I still have that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was, I remember that time. It made me feel good to actually vote. That was the first time where I just felt like, wow, like this is what it feels like. It was almost like a relief, like my vote counted because the person I voted for actually won.
Yep.
So it made me feel good. Um, and then, of course, second turn came around, he got it again.
All right.
You know, I was like, oh, we can let this ride forever. Do we have to ever let him go? That
No,
was the
no.
whole thing. And not only him, like you kind of fell in love with his wife Michelle just as much. Because she was one bad person in her own right. She was like, I mean, heck, who you want to put up there? The Beyonce of politics, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know, sorry, that may give the Beehive some slack. I'm sorry. I know.
I'm sure they'll claim Michelle.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. If that doesn't intertwine work with y'all, I'm sorry. That's just who I could compare it to at the time. Anyways, so yeah, we was rocking with the whole family. You know, and Obama, he seemed like as far as character, as a stand-up guy, like, no, it was really no hidden background things that I saw that came out. Like he wasn't cheating on her, you know what I'm saying? He seemed upright and good with society and all. But I said that to say, yeah, that's when I first started, like, you know, getting into it. That's what we loved
about him.
Yeah. And I think
he got swag.
Yeah, it's the relatable factor. That's what we love the most. And through it all, that it just gave us hope and it gave us meaning to really see some important people in power that look like us and let us know that we can also do it. That we also have a voice and our voice counted, because for a long time we never felt that way, and that's just a fact about it. We never felt that way about any other president before. And I heard this from not only my generation, but generations before us. So I knew if we were excited about it, the generation before us was talking about how they were excited about it because they never seen that in their lifetime. And it's, you know, so it's been a while. Fast forward to now, it seems like that hope has diminished almost each term moving forward after that. You know, Obama's out of office and it's like, well, okay, who's next? Who can do this? And we've had Donald J. Trump, who and let me be clear, man. A politician is a politician either way. And I'm sorry for putting Obama in this light. I'm just saying how it felt. Was he perfect? No. Did he have his flaws? Did he do everything? No. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is what it felt like. So to transition from Obama to Donald J. Trump, it just felt like things got worse. Now, as you alluded to, AJ, I'm sure it was. Donald J. Trump officially really did do some still good things in office. As we may not agree with his character and what he goes through, what he does goes through the office and how his character is flawed. But he did do some good things. And so did Obama, but Obama wasn't perfect.
Nobody's perfect. I think that's what a lot of people get wrong. Like, these are still human beings inside of office. So, you know, and it's a big world out there. So you're not going to be able to please everybody when it comes to programs and policies and stuff.
I'm for that.
But I think
I don't think we're asking a politician to be perfect. At least I'm not.
Yeah. I just think, you know, from what I've seen, I feel like both Obama and after him, his perception. Yeah. Or no, who preceded him, Donald J. Trump. I feel like they doing the best they can do, for who they are. You know what I mean? Like it don't seem like they're not trying.
as far as their morals and all what their principles, how far that will let them, they're doing the best they can.
Sometimes they lean a little bit this way or that way, but
Agreed.
I feel like they're at least trying to do the best what they think is right. So, I give them kudos for that.
I mean, and keep in mind, I am not on this podcast. We're not on this podcast to tell you who to vote for. This is not it. We're not telling you who to vote for. We are just telling you that it is important to vote because your voice needs to be heard. That is the basis of this. We are not telling you to pick a side because it's. I find it funny, and you hear it from the separations from the religion standpoint, from the race standpoint, gender standpoint. Mm-hmm. Everyone wants you to choose a side. Mm-hmm. Everyone's so hell bent on making you choose a side. And if you're not careful, you will just be falling into a long list of your own agendas to justify your own race, your own religion, your own thing. It seems like that is the best way that the world should be living. Mm-hmm. If you're not careful. It's not that simple, ladies and gentlemen. This world is too complex. People are complex. We are not that black and white in this world. You got to get to the nuance of things, is what I'm telling you. I advise people. Because, like I said, it's not to tell you who to vote for. And let me advise you, don't be too comfortable in sticking to your own political party. Even that. Because truth be told, what if the other politicians making more sense? Are you just going to stay there and be loyal to that because of that? Or you're going to go against the grain and go with what you feel is right, not for what you feel you're loyal to the political party. My advice and what I would like to see, I don't care what side. What I want to see is the person in power doing every little thing they can to stay true to their word. When they're rallying us and trying to get us to vote for them, and they're saying what they would do and why we should put the trust in them and put our vote in them, I want to see them live up to those standards. True. I want to see, that's what I want to see. I don't care what side it's on.
Yeah, accountability is probably one of the most important things when it comes to the office, like of president. I think that's what people had a lot of problem with in Donald J. Trump's, because he was, the stuff with the Russian spies, how they supposedly, what's the word, tampered with the elections when he went up against Hillary. Supposedly that he was in cahoots with them, supposedly. There was even a whole little investigation with Mike Fuller, or Robert Fuller, sorry. Yeah. And, I think it was Mike. But, just little stuff like that. It has to be accountability. Like, even though they hold the highest office, they're still accountable to the people. You know what I mean? Because they're serving us. You know what I mean? The president, our congressmen, our police officers, these are all supposed to be in service to the people. Right. So that's where it gets a little bit like, dang, or is this, are they serving us or are we serving them?
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just kind of unfortunate because you see stuff like George Floyd, you see stuff like Mike Brown, you see stuff like Trayvon, and it's just kind of crazy when you're getting to your time when you're starting to vote and you're 18-year-old, you're 22-year-old, and you coming into your own as a man or a woman or whatever. True. And you don't quite understand the dynamics of politics. You don't understand who are these people because all you see is, a piece of paper and people telling you to vote. It's like, who do I vote for?
Yeah.
You don't really know. You don't see these people out in the streets every day like that.
Right.
Most politicians, you barely even know their names.
Right. Most definitely.
So it's just for the young generation, the later millennials, or should I say the later millennials, are what are they calling this new generation? Generation X or something.
I don't know. That I can't fall in love with these political words like that.
Just,
like, look,
it's just
people after me, people
young
before
folks,
me, whatever.
Young folks. It's harder for them because they haven't been around the block enough to even get to know these politicians, and some of them are really career politicians. Like, their whole life they've been in politics. Nancy Pelosi of the Democratic Party. Mike Pence's been in there for a while, and I think it's one of the reasons why people like Donald J. Trump so much is because even though he's been in the business world and on TV and reality, he's kind of the anomaly to the politician. He even says it
because he's not really a politician.
Yeah,
that's why you can hear when he talks,
and that's what he banks off of. So
that's why I look like a reality show when he talks.
So it's
don't
just
look like a politician up there.
It's just like, I feel for a lot of the young folks who are trying to figure out. I would just say try to get as much informed as you can. Research. We have the internet now, so
there's no excuse.
That's helpful. Just kind of, and the most important things are the propositions as well. Like, can't forget about that. Like, those are the actual laws. Those are actual policies. Their congressmen. Those are what they're trying to come up with. These propositions, like, we propose that we should have taxes on this so we can use this, or we should have no religion in school. We can't be teaching that. It's on the ballot, yes or no. It's all different kinds of stuff that congressmen, that's their job, is to make law. The president is to basically execute the law, like the force, the police. And then the Supreme Court is for to interpret the law. So they, like, if it comes to question, like, for instance, Roe v. Wade with the right, the woman's rights to choose, which is a big topic right now.
It's very big.
I
encourage you guys to look up on that.
That's some of the stuff that the court interprets or gives meaning to the law.
If you care about pro-life, do some research.
Yeah. So
inside or outside the womb,
it definitely matters to even the smallest people, or not even the smallest, but the people who doesn't have a high income or something. Like, everybody's votes matter, and that's the thing about these elections. You want to exercise your right. You want to partake in this. So if you can and you're able, go vote. Like, just,
pretty much.
If you don't know what to vote for, just kind of, leave it blank, and maybe, like, vote for something else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, vote on another proposition, but just try to get informed as much as you can, and then choose wisely.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I want to speak on this, because I don't want to be stuck up there not knowing what to vote for and what to do, and I don't want other people to.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to inform people on maybe the mindset they should have. This is why I'm saying that I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I can put you in a mindset of what you should be thinking about when you go to the poll.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you, but I don't want people to be up there just following the status quo, copying what their grandmama and mama used to vote for, the same party. All that doesn't matter. Because the truth is, like I said, you got to get to the nuance of things. what's most things important to me is the fact that don't just fall in love with when they're on these poles, they're traveling, they're doing these talks to different places. Like, don't fall in love with the potential and promises. You fall in love with the grind. You fall in love with the work they put in. Everybody can talk. Everybody. Like, it will look stupid. You would be mad if they said, oh, well, we promise you student debt will be gone. You wait a year, nothing happens. Basically 4 years go by, nothing happens, and we still waiting on, like, I still got these student loans. Yep. You'd be mad if they said no more taxes. Nothing happens. You'd be mad if, if they decide for black people to give reparations. What if they promised that and we never seen one penny? I'd be mad. You have to hold these things accountable. Don't fall in love with their words. Fall in love with their actions. And even more so, start small if you got to. If you can't, this is what local officials for. The people that you can reach, the people that you can talk to, they be around. Honestly, there's one that works right across the street from my job. Actually, that's running. It's quite funny. I've never seen her, but I seen her. Really? I seen her bins. I for sure seen that. And then one of her interns came to the store. A young black man. I was like, cool. I admire you, bro. Do your thing. But what I'm saying is, it's important to not fall in love with the promises and potential. You fall in love with the grind and the work that they put in. And what's important to analyze is the characteristics in the leadership. You know why? Because I feel that character should be held at the utmost standard because character forms policies. Yeah. And those policies and the character have to match.
That's a bar.
That's just how it is. You cannot just go acting an ass up there, as we've seen many times, and you have people
and that's
like feed into your BS. It just doesn't, it's not how that's going to work. People are not going to fall for anything. And I hope they don't. And that's is what I'm informing you guys. Don't fall for the okie doke. None of that. So look at their character because it has to match their policy.
And that's the complete difference, or that's the exact thing what we're looking at when we see a Barack Obama, when we see a Donald J. Trump. Like, Barack was like this upstanding dude, charismatic, beautiful family, just a real virtuous man, like a shining light, like someone you would want to be like. Right. You know what I mean?
Like a superhero.
Yeah, for real.
That was like a black superhero.
Right. And then you got Donald J. Trump is like, he's like liars and like doing all this stuff.
That's what it seemed like. Yeah. I'm not saying he is all.
He lying.
I am not trying to throw any politician under a bus. I am not, because the fact is everyone has good and bad in them. So I'm not here trying to.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, as far as like,
what is perception? Yes, yeah, perception for sure.
Yeah. So it's just crazy. Just I like what you said. Like, character forms policies. So
I'm just saying where what advice that I'm giving is when you go to the stand and when you go to these polls, I mean, and you're making these character concessions, I'll say. Ask yourself, can you afford to make them?
Yeah, and what are they aligned to? Like, what interests are they? Because most time you want to vote your interests, like, and what your family is trying to do. But I kind of I like that. I know definitely want to look out for the fam, but I'm more interested in like the whole. You know what I mean? Exactly. And I think that's where people lose their ways a little, because there's so much, for what can I get? What can the politician do for me? What can they do for us?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
It should be for the whole country as a whole. What's best for everybody, but it doesn't usually turn out that way, and it sucks because it causes division.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it causes what you see now with a Republican side and a Democratic side, but it's really supposed to be bipartisan. We all supposed to agree on this, and then, but that's not usually how it plays off. It's like, oh, we got the most people, so we just doing it like this. or we got the most people, so we doing like this.
Yeah,
like,
most definitely.
you know, that's not how it's supposed to be.
No.
So it's kind of like, it sucks, but, you know, you gotta play the game how it is. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can necessarily change the rules, but you got people like, you know,
but
Kanye, you know, and he's his own little.
But see, people to me, they're hypocritical and they're biased because
exactly.
Especially like it's just like what example can I give? Let's go like Netflix. Like people love Netflix, and we probably been watching a lot of it during this year, during quarantine, this pandemic. There could be certain movies, certain shows that probably are not to your liking, probably not that you feel should be appropriate to put on there. Like, for example, now I haven't seen this movie, but I heard about it when it came out. Cuties, a bunch of 9 to 11-year-old girls, basically
I heard about that.
shown in a pretty disturbing way, so I hear. I don't know the goal of that movie. I don't know why they brought that to light, but it was disturbing enough to where it made some type of ruckus. Now, I want to know, people who are complaining about that, did they get rid of Netflix? Probably not.
No,
probably
just
not.
Cook it down from Netflix. You know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is, like, people are biased because they choose what they embrace. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can be like, oh, well, this is bad. This movie was bad about Netflix, but we can take this out and we can still watch that. But let a politician have something bad about them, and it's like, oh, well, they just throwing the whole thing out. Like, it's not that simple, because the fact is, you got to learn to basically embrace the person. And, you know, while you disagree with some of the,
I would like to see
some of it, while you embrace others, keep that same energy about everything, is what I'm saying.
I would like to see more politicians do take on topics like that, like different stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of politicians today shy away from controversy when they should really be at the front of it. You know what I mean? Like, if these are leaders, these are the guys who's making the laws and making the rules, like, they should be, you know, taking a stand on some of this stuff. But
I agree.
They only take a stand on some of the whatever is popular, whatever is trending. You know what I mean?
That's why the black vote is crazy. That's why you shouldn't fall for that, because every time you need the black vote, everybody's shucking and jiving around black people. Like it's like, you know, the most popular thing, and it's important. No, it's important for you to get. Excuse me, it's popular for you to get it so you can win. We know you don't care about us like that. At least that's how I feel. Every time election comes around, it's the same old thing. Just like Biden, he went on, what he went on? He went on something and said, basically, if black people don't vote for him, we not black. Oh, so you telling me my skin color ain't what I think it is because if I don't vote for you? And then you got Trump, who thinks, oh, that debate, even the last one, he straight up said it, I'm probably the most least racist person in this room.
Yeah.
Bro, does that mean that you are not racist, or does that mean you're literally just the least racist and you're still racist? Which one is it, bro? So it's like, come on, like, y'all putting on this show and charade, like, come on, bro.
Man,
stop it.
It's just kind of crazy, but I just hope everybody goes and vote. Like, this is, you say that is 2008. You seen a lot of hope. I think so too. It was reinvigorated. I think this year has been, you know, with the internet and everybody on Instagram and, you know, doing all that social media stuff. It's really got people energetic and, you know, wanting to vote. So I'm happy to see that everybody's trying to participate, and we got a lot of discussion going. So that's what we need. We need to hear voices. You need to hear our voice. You need to hear their voice. And that's how it comes together, so we can find a middle ground so that we can all live, you know, peacefully. We all can live in this great nation we call the United States. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people overseas, Somalia, you know, Egypt, Iran, North Korea, you know, these countries are ran by like one single person.
Yeah.
You know, or Somalia is not ran by anybody, but like a malicious group, you know, and that's the great thing about the United States is that we do have these opportunities to have our say in what goes on without having to take it to war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without having to make a military coup and, you know, oh, we not getting what we like. We got people raiding our villages. You know what I mean? You got to take up arms, and that's the beauty of the United States is that we do have these democratic, or not these democratic, sorry, these you know, these elections. So it's important, and I'm happy to be a U.S. citizen. I think, you know, we take it for granted sometimes, but compared to a lot of other places in the world, you know, we're really blessed. So just go out and
definitely embrace. We're privileged.
Vote. Yeah,
we have the privilege too. Like there was a time when you could not vote. Yeah. Speaking on the fact of blacks right now, like there was a time where you couldn't vote, ladies and gentlemen. It's just that real. It was you know, blacks was trying to vote, and they made every excuse, every line they had to cross, things they had to read, every BS excuse so you couldn't vote.
Yep. And
think about the 15th Amendment in 1870. Like it was guaranteed the right to vote and could not be denied based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude. Like that had to be put in there so we could literally vote. Think about it. They really tried to get us not to.
And women couldn't vote till 1964.
Right.
So it wasn't even just to everybody. It was, you know,
right.
Women couldn't even vote. So now women, 28, about 80 years later, you know, it haven't been that long. That's one lifetime. My grandma was 91. You know? My mom was born in 61, you know, so there was 3 years of her life where she couldn't vote, and that's only one generation moved from her son.
Exactly.
So it's,
think about
you know, just keep it in perspective and get out
take
there.
Advantage. Yeah. I can I can't understand why people don't want to vote. I actually can't. Can you? I really can't understand.
Well, they don't. I don't know if they quite understand the importance of it, and I don't know if they, you know, care enough or care about themselves enough to, you know, it's all about some of our previous episodes with, you know, self-value and self-worth. Like, you can't just let anybody treat you any kind of way. Like, and these laws are, you know, they affect your life. So if you care about your life, then, you know.
And maybe
you care about your family, you should vote.
Right. And maybe, or your future family, future generations. That's what I think about.
Yep.
I am just biased when it comes to righteousness. I am biased when it comes to a place of positivity, fairness, and equality. Whether I never get it or never see it really wouldn't matter to me, because my main focus on that, let me do something to create a better place for the next man, for the ones that look up to me, the ones that come up under me, the future kids, my little brother, our godson, nephews, nieces. Like, let me do a justice to them at least, and do my part with that, even if I never see it.
Do your duty.
Even if I never see it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, to be real.
Same with the finances.
Yes. And to be real, it may not be enough just to vote, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
To be real, it may not be enough just to say, hi, I voted, and put on social media. It may take a little bit more work for you to do.
100%.
It may take a little bit more than just putting your money towards this cause, this fundraiser. It may take a little bit more in you to actually go out there and do the work yourself, just to be honest.
That's a great point.
We get so caught up in this laziness, slacktivism. That's what I like to call it.
It's passive.
Yeah. We get so just caught up in that type of thing to where we feel like we can do something. That's why I said symbolism, because we can say like, oh, I voted, I did enough. Oh, Black Lives Matter, let me wear this hat, I did enough. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Stuff like that is basically what I'm saying. We place too much on doing a little bit and think that if we do it and post it on social media, we've done our part. That's it. That's not how things get changed and get done. It literally may take more action, more you grinding out there, being in the streets, hearing people, talking to people, forming the unions, whatever. It may take stuff like that to see the real change that you really want to see. That's just honest. But it is necessary to vote, ladies and gentlemen, because that's an avenue of where it can start or it can
That's where it
help.
starts.
And that's an avenue for it. It's not the end all be all. Being to the booth is not the end all be all. Because let's be honest, we probably, all of us never put our 110% faith in politics. And that's just the truth of it. You hear how corrupt politics are all the time. Like, we all don't 110% believe it. But doesn't mean we shouldn't allow ourselves to go to the booth with some grace, compassion, and understanding that they may not have it all together, but let's integrate ourselves in there, go in with a critical thinking mindset, make the best decision possible, and work with them. The thing is, that's why actually I admire Ice Cube, one of my favorite rappers. Everybody was getting on him. You heard about that? Everybody was getting on him for working with Trump. He wasn't literally talking to Trump, just for the record. It was the administration. And he was trying to hear on both sides how basically he can work with them to get these policies, ideas, these laws out there. Everybody gave him slack. The whole black community trying to be down on him, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Without actually realizing what is going on. But my dude, that's just the stuff that it just may take. These hard conversations that we may have with people we don't like. Hello, that's your character flaw, not everybody else's. That's your problem when you don't know how to love your neighbor. Bible reference, I got you. When you can sit here and sit from your comfort at home and you can criticize, but you ain't doing nothing. You're not on your feet trying to make this a better place. You're not talking to people who can make the change. You're not talking to people who may have the resources. Oh, why? Because they're a different political party. Oh, why? Because they said this, X, Y, and Z. So we just gonna act like we perfect now? I'll say it again, people. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. That's all I'm saying.
Well, good points, bro. So in conclusion, I want you guys to go follow the Grind Podcast on Instagram. Look us up on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, the Grind Podcast.
For sure.
Station.
Like, follow, and share. For
sure. We support any Black businesses out there. So if you guys have a Black or any business, too, but especially Black businesses, we want to support you guys. Send us a link, send us a picture of your products, your businesses, your services. We want to put you guys out there to our audience. And if subscribe on our YouTube channel, the Grind Podcast, the Adrian Tyler Show. Yep. We're just gonna keep rocking. This is probably like a part 1 to multiple discussions on these issues. This is not gonna be the first, or it's not gonna be the last. Support. That's all you can do. Make your voices heard. If anybody wants to be on the podcast, let us know. We're also down for that too. So look us up.
This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill.
Is a terrible thing to waste.